What is up, sports fans, and welcome back to another episode of Pez's Picks. I'm Jeff Hartman, joined by the man with the picks, Pez himself. If you're listening in audio form on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, do me a favor, follow, subscribe so you don't miss any of the content here at Pez's Picks. And if you're watching this on YouTube, like the video, subscribe to the Fans First Sports Network YouTube channel. We do appreciate the support. And with that all out of the way, I welcome Mr. Jet Setter himself. Pez is back in, as I grew up calling it, Dirty Jersey. He's back. Welcome back, Pez. How are you?
Jeff, I mean, what a week. We had a little West Coast research trip, Vegas, always enlightening Vegas, Jeff. I mean, it's that's a very dangerous town to me. And I was just had a meeting with Slingman, a Pez's Pick, associate, and he couldn't believe I did not wager $1 in Las Vegas. And it's not that I want to, Jeff, but Vegas is a town set up to trap you in gambling, kind of like our play last night. We had the Tigers over the Phillies, minus 130 with Suarez on the mound against the rotten Detroit Tigers, who they blew out, can't hit. Total trap play, Jeff, where it looked like a gimme. Another associate, our guy Action Man and I talked about it. Total gimme last night with plus 110 was probably the best pitcher in the league. Screwball. Las Vegas, Jeff, and I stayed at the Fontainebleau, and fortunately I had my son there. I mean, I would never see my wife. I would take my wife, but kept us in check, Jeff. The Fontainebleau has a design of pools that is kind of like the Playboy Mansion, Jeff, and the waitresses and bartenders happily walk around. They're basically nude. They have gambling tables on the pool deck, blackjack, roulette, sports gambling. My wife said, "You can go play?" I said, "Absolutely not, Jeff. This is a trap. They want you to go. You'd be happy to lose in that setting." So we did have some meetings with some sports betting people. There's a lot of talk, Jeff, of data and what we're doing at Pez's Picks, and a lot of talk on sports gambling. And it's actually becoming more of kind of like a stock market and an investment thing. And, there's more money being invested in sports gambling every month. And it's a thing to think about as an investment plan or something to just have a little bit of fun with. Yeah. And we made a video today where we talked about we're about 67% right now, which, Jeff, we're real proud of. And, baseball is – I don't even like to talk about it, Jeff. I don't want to win myself. But – and I was talking about with my associates, the Action Man and the Yogi. And baseball, winning is important, but there's also odds involved. So when we put a play out, the team is maybe minus 150. What we encourage gamblers to think about is always wagering the same amount of money, not putting yourself in extra risk or jeopardy. So if you're a $100 gambler and it's minus 150, then you still only bet $100. You're not going to put yourself in a minus 150 situation. If it's plus 110, plus 120, you put $100. Or if it's 10 or if it's $20. So you have to be careful chasing big odds, and that's what they want you to do. You have to look at it as the same type of play where you're given the same juice or the same vig, 10%, and you're not going to kind of take that bait. So you have to be willing to win less money when the favorite is big. Yeah. And that's an important thing to think about throughout the summer. You can get jammed up very, very quickly in baseball. And we lost a few last week, and we talked about that. I mean, that's part of gambling, and that's part of long-term investing, and you stick to your system. We had a lot of one-run losses, Jeff, we talked about before we came on. Our man Skeens, Pittsburgh, they let us down a little bit. The guy pitched such a gem.
Yep.
I found myself dazed out. That ball comes out of his hand, reminiscent of an old power pitcher. It looks like it's easy to hit, but it's impossible to hit. It's an amazing thing.
It's tough. And, people that might wonder, like, what is he talking about with the videos? Remember, you can check out all of Pez's picks, his daily picks. If he has a pick that day, if he doesn't have a pick that day, he'll explain why he doesn't, at Pez's Picks on Instagram, also on Twitter and X. You might be seeing some more picks at another venue down the road, closer to football season. We'll get there when we get there. But Pez, 67% MLB, that's difficult. And you brought it up. Unless you're going to go the route of, and I was going to ask you about this anyways, think back to basketball in the playoffs. We had the horrible semifinal round, but you started to say, okay, I'm going to take teams first quarter. So would you start to go down the road of, okay, Skeens is pitching, I'm going to take the Pirates, and you can do those abbreviated games almost. So is that an avenue that you're going to go down, or are you still going to stick to the overall winners?
It's funny you say that, Jeff. And, that type of first inning bet or first 5 innings is a new thing. Um,
Yeah.
Traditional old school gamblers like myself, we didn't have those things. You weren't calling your buddy in South Philly and saying, "Hey, I'm coming by for a cheesesteak. Give me $1 on the Philadelphia Eagles." Right in the first minute of the game, give me $1 on the Phillies first inning. Like they would have laughed you out the house. So it's funny you say this, Jeff. I was in Nevada, and my wife and I and son, we did a tour through national parks. We did some mountain climbing, some hiking, some scary stuff, fun stuff, Jeff. But we ended in Tucson, where my Wildcat wife went to college.
Yep.
Books this. They've got these kind of old, kind of Mexican kind of villas, Jeff, that are resorts up on the mountain hills with little pools everywhere. And Jeff, I don't know. My wife was inspired. The bikinis got smaller as the trip went on. Okay, to the point where the back of the bikini wasn't there, Jeff. So we're in the pool. There's other people around in that same outfit, and she says to me, I got an idea. Why don't you take these first inning bets? So, of course, I told her this is an incredible genius idea. But the more you think about it, Jeff, if you're wagering money on a game, it's based on data. It's based on percentages where you're not expecting to win in the first inning. You're expecting to win overall, that the math is going to come out right by the end of the game. I don't like the first inning bets. I like them in basketball because it's the same game, but it's just, 15 minutes, segment.
Yeah.
Baseball, tough to say, Jeff. First innings are not games. And last night, we had the Mets beat the Yankees 9-7. They're down 9-1. I mean, pretty early in that game. So I don't like those type of bets in baseball. And that's something I don't think you can really do your research on, your data on. I think it's much more difficult and put yourself at less of an advantage.
The abbreviated game of like a 5-inning bet might be smarter because you think about Paul Skeens, his last start, dominant, right? What was the first pitch? If you recall, his first pitch that he threw, he gave up a home run and he was down
Absolutely.
1-0. And the Pirates did not answer that run in the bottom of the first. Therefore, you would have lost that bet, even though Skeens turned out to have a phenomenal day, over 8 strikeouts. And I think he threw for 7 full innings and he left with a 1-1 tie. So he gets a no decision. So that's interesting to me. And I'll be interested to see how you play your hand with MLB down the road. Do you have any upcoming games that you're releasing? And you don't need to give us the bets. They can check out your Instagram feed for the bets. But are there any games that you're looking at down this week, maybe Thursday, Friday, that you're like, maybe these are some plays I'll have?
Well, regarding your excellent observation with Skeens, Jeff, and that first pitch, when that happened, I said to myself, this kid is legit, real deal, stud, potential Hall of Famer, Jeff. And what I mean by that, there's this odd thing. I remember Roger Clemens. I remember, Kurt Schilling. Power pitchers, like a Brett Favre, like a Tiger Woods even. Power players, the best ever. A lot of times their first pitch, swing, pass, Favre was infamous for throwing a pick. They have this unbelievable power, that an unbelievable will to win that they build up, and it's not that it's their weakest point, but you're using that power against them. So it's exactly why I don't like those first inning or early kind of bets. Regarding what we're doing, Jeff, and this is, we get questions about this a lot. Every day is a different examination of the data in baseball. Every single day. There's so many things that you have to analyze with every baseball game. How a team does after a loss, how a team does, day compared to night, what number game is it, home or away stand? Did they get smoked the day before? And you can compare the day before game batting average to the team's, batting average for the season, and just, based on numbers, that average should go up the next day. Now, I was explaining to my wife in this outfit that you can't always count on that. It's not a guarantee. It's not that easy. Teams have 4 or 5 game, 10 game slumps, or then 10 game, where they're hitting above. So then you're analyzing pitchers. How many bullpen throwers did they have in the night before? Are they worn out? Did they not have a big bullpen night? So tough to predict future plays. We're recording. It's Wednesday. On Instagram already, we've put out our play of the day. The New York Yankees, I believe, -130. They got Gill on the mound. Lose to the Mets yesterday. Got kind of smoked. 2 losses in a row for the New York Yankees. Projected to win over 100 games. They hit like crap. They look sluggish. So my theory and our data showed it's kind of a home game. They're coming off a game where statistically they had a really bad night. tonight that those stats should reverse. And it's kind of was a part of our data and our algorithm last night with Detroit and the Philadelphia Phillies.
All right. So again, check out all of this stuff at Pez's Picks on Instagram and on Twitter and X. But baseball, we're going to keep tabs on that. I'm sure you're excited for football. We're going to talk about that towards the end of the show as we talk about some NFL future plays. But let's talk about your Euro soccer. Now, I'm invested in you and your product, Pez. So I'm checking Instagram. I know you're not on there. You're providing the content, but you're not the one that's doing it. And I'm checking comments. I want to see what people are saying. And there have been people that have been calling you out for your Euro soccer pick, saying you don't know ball. Now, I think that's something that football fans say. I don't know if that's carries over into soccer, the soccer realm, but there have been people saying, like, this guy doesn't know what he's talking about. Pez, you're a soccer guy. I'm shocked. What do you think about these Euro soccer plays, and what are we thinking?
Couple things, Jeff. I have to talk with our IT department. I was bashed for suggesting there were 14 team brackets in this tournament. Jeff, the AI we're using needs to be updated to the New Jersey/Philadelphia Italian guy, Irish guy accent, Jeff. I talk fast. In the video, I said 14 bracket. Stupid AI, Jeff.
Oh, 4-team, not 14.
4-team, not 14. Jeff, I saw The Terminator at a young age. Okay, I showed my son that movie at a very young age, and you know what? Luckily for me, he's terrified of machines, computers. That kid will climb a mountain. We did it last week. That kid stood on a 3-foot wide rock bridge near the Grand Canyon in Sedona, 1,000 feet off the ground. I had a nightmare about it, Jeff. Him and my wife got some amazing pictures. It's called Devil's Bridge. Kid's fearless. I tell him, let's go on the Ferris wheel. He goes, no way. I'm not going on that machine. So, Jeff, I am anti this computer, anti this AI. It's disparaging us. Having said that, Jeff, I have over 35 years in soccer, playing, coaching. It was my life for a long time. I know more about soccer than any other sport. I've played every sport, Jeff, but I was in organized college, professional level soccer a long time. And it is the worst sport I've ever gambled, Jeff. I went to the Euro a couple years back, about 10 years back, with my wife in Ireland. I think I lost every game, Jeff. So I hate soccer, okay? It's a stupid bet, Jeff. I love betting it. I love watching it. I love the game. But you never know what the hell is going to happen in these games. There's too many guys. There's too many tactics. When I watch it, I think, what would I do as the coach? And, my associates loved when I was a coach, and I would use the European pack it in, Jeff. The European pack it in, which is why we lost the game yesterday. They take 9, 10 guys, and they put them 20 to 25 yards in front of their own goal. It's impossible to score. Game's over, Jeff. It's what the New Jersey Devils used to do.
Oh, yeah.
Sabotages the game. So that happened yesterday, and when we make these bets also, it's a 1 out of 3 chance. Loss, win, draw. But when we get into these knockout rounds, it's going to be a little bit easier, Jeff, where no draws available. Someone has to win these upcoming games, and I think it's going to get easier as that happens. Our future bet, Germany, love it, Jeff. I love it. Young team at home. I still think we have a really good shot for Germany to win this tournament.
When will they announce who gets in?
So I'm not sure how many brackets we have left. We have 2 games going on now. In the next couple of days, we're going to be to the final 16.
Hey,
So
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now. My Romanian boys are in. They made it in.
Jeff, the fact that Romania is they're a better soccer country than the United States of America. I'm guessing what, 2 million people live in Romania, Jeff?
No clue.
So a much better team than the United States of America, who, I like to bash. We have Cristiano Ronaldo, Jeff, playing right now. He's losing 1-0 to Georgia, not the state of Georgia, and, not where they talk like this, the old Russian state, Georgia, beating Portugal, beating the greatest player possibly ever, Cristiano Ronaldo. It's a fun thing to watch, Jeff. I encourage people to take a look at it. The last game of all the brackets play at the same time. That way nobody can sandbag, and that's where we're at. And Georgia is currently up 1-0 on Portugal and Cristiano Ronaldo, which is shocking, Jeff. I mean, soccer can be shocking, and baseball can too. NFL, less likely to have shocking situations, Jeff.
That's true.
Very less.
That's true. Well, my Romanian heritage is ringing true. They're the greatest odds to win, and they're into the second round. That's when we're going to be diving deeper into these picks. We'll talk about that next week. With that starting, actually, the 29th is when the round of 16. So make sure you're checking out Pez's picks on all his different platforms to get those picks. Let's talk some golf, though. I got to ask, what do you think about that crazy finish to the Travelers and those protesters? I was wondering what your take would be on that.
Jeff, I'm a passionate, politics guy. I'm for the people. Pez's picks is for the people, Jeff. One thing that I have always detested, whether I'm for the issue or not, whether it's a good issue or not, protesting is stupid, Jeff. It's a ridiculous thing, okay? All you do is piss off the people you're protesting against. I find it moronic to do. I don't even know what those lunatics were protesting. I decided not to.
Anti-oil, big oil.
Jeff, who is an anti-oil? I don't want to put $80 in my Jeep, right? It sucks, okay? I mean, there's many things you can protest about oil. The golf tournament is not one of them, Jeff.
No.
Who was sponsoring that tournament? I don't even know.
Travelers Insurance. It was the Travelers tournament.
What the hell is going on here? Having said that, Jeff, I'm not positive Scotty Scheffler is as good as he is, or that the rest of the guys suck, and he is a Hall of Fame golfer, Jeff. That guy is playing Tiger Woods golf right now, and he almost makes it look easier than Tiger ever did. He's boring, Jeff. He's absolutely boring. The guy never misses fairways. His shots are just perfect. His accuracy is unbelievable.
Well, I don't know if the fields are as strong as they were when Tiger was going through it, though. Like, he doesn't have a Phil Mickelson trying to chase him down every week. He doesn't have that caliber of player. If Bryson or Brooks were on the tour now, then it would be different, but he doesn't have those guys chasing him down. He's dealing with the Xander Schauffele's and the head case that is Colin Morikawa. So those are the people that he has to go against. That doesn't mean that it's bad, but I was shocked. The dude can go low. He wins at 22 under par, and that's what you should do on this course, the TPC River Highlands in Cornwall, Connecticut.
Well, like Tiger, he ate up the par fives, Jeff, and that was a Tiger rule. I saw him hit a couple 3-woods into that course. Looks like a pleasure to play. I mean, for them it's easy. For me, I might break 100, Jeff. So, I mean, unbelievable accuracy on long 3-woods is Tiger Woods level. And I'm not bashing Scotty Scheffler. I think he probably is going to be a top 5 golfer ever. I mean, the guy has a game. He's got an athlete's brain. He was a basketball guy. He's got everything you need, Jeff, and he's still young. My worry is, and I thought about it this week, I like Finau, but with Bryson winning that tournament, I am starting to really worry that the PGA might collapse, Jeff, and this LIV might win out. And it's a very difficult thing to compete with that right now. They have all the best players except Scheffler. Who else is there to watch right now, Jeff? I mean, I like some of these guys because I'm a golf junkie like you, but it's boring. I mean, Tom Kim, fun to watch, right? And I was excited for that guy. Kind of blew it a little bit, Jeff. I mean, in the playoff, can't put it in the bunker, right? What's going on here?
But he made the birdie on 18 to send it, and that was with the freaks running out there throwing the cans of chalk and stuff all over the green. So, I mean, Tom Kim showed me something, and let's talk about the Rocket Mortgage coming up this weekend. He's the odds-on favorite at plus 1,200. This is not a good field, Pez. This is not a good field. But hey,
I'm selling that, Jeff. I'm selling that.
I've actually taken Tom Kim 1,200 as my favorite.
I'm throwing a flyer out there. I'm gonna throw a Ricky Fowler flyer out there, Jeff. The guy won there.
He won there last year.
Why not, Jeff? Why not? I mean, Spieth appears to be done. Justin Thomas done. Finau, I believe he's won there too. Could be a good play. I believe that Fitzpatrick might have won there too. I mean, weird game on that kid, but he has some accuracy as well. I'm concerned about golf, Jeff, and my wife is also concerned. Days that she, wanted some alone time, she calls it, Jeff, which you need a marriage. Yeah. I mean, unlike you, we have a small family. I could watch golf for 5 hours, Jeff. I could just meditate away a day with that golf. I have trouble watching the current product, and I worry about it big time.
Yeah, I get it. I really do. I think the story, though, Pez, is this 15-year-old Miles Russell who's playing in the tournament. That's going to be fun to watch. A lefty.
Well, Tiger Woods' son is progressing, in a right direction, too.
Yeah, this Miles Russell, who I think is a little bit older, actually might be not. I don't know if he's as old as Charlie or not, but man, like he finished top 20 in a Corn Ferry tournament. That's how he's getting this exemption into the Rocket Mortgage. It's incredible.
I've been around some high school golf, Jeff, and kids will go out and, they play 9 holes in high school.
Yeah.
They'll shoot 34, 35 like it's nothing. And, I've seen this, and I say to the experts, the coaches, Jesus, where's this kid going? Where's the scholarship?
Yeah.
And they tell me he can't even play in college. The youth golf is strong, and that's my hope for the future. One thing I forgot about, Jeff, it might be an interesting play. Bronny James, LeBron's son.
Oh, yeah.
I think, like Mike Penix Jr., who Pez has picked, that was our draft, shocking pick of the year. I think he is going to go extremely high in this draft, Jeff.
Wow.
Extremely high. And, I'm not sure if it's deserved. I haven't seen the kid play much. But the chatter on this kid is, aside from pedigree and aside from, there's a good possibility you're going to get LeBron James, who's still putting up Hall of Fame numbers, Jeff. Who he has vowed he's going to play with his son. Not only you get that advantage, his basketball IQ from his dad, where he wasn't a dominant player in the college game, where basketball, the level isn't great. In my soccer life, Jeff, I was lucky to play on a couple teams with guys who played in Euros, who played in World Cups. And while playing around me and my jabroni friends, they didn't look that great, Jeff. They would do some amazing thing, pass us the ball, and then I kick it out of bounds or something. So I think with Bronny, we can see a top 10 pick, Jeff. I honestly do.
Wow.
I honestly think. And it's a money game, right, Jeff? So you get Bronny James, you're selling jerseys for the next 15 years, right? Asian market, American market, and maybe him and LeBron. I mean, what a story, year 2. I mean, so I believe LeBron's on his last year of his deal in LA. I believe.
Yeah.
And the sham of that coaching situation, Jeff, unbelievable. I've never seen a coach announced and booed at his press conference, Jeff. I don't know if you saw it.
No.
JJ Redick was asked, how much did you talk with LeBron about this job? And I don't know if you know, him and LeBron have this podcast.
Yeah.
And JJ Redick actually said, we didn't talk one word about it. He didn't want to get involved. He was booed by reporters, Jeff. Literally booed. LeBron James is coaching that team. I think the Lakers have a good shot of drafting Bronny James. I really do.
That'll be interesting. I do want to finish the show up, though, with you've been doing some NFL futures, and you've been diving into some of those, and you did the NFC East, and you're moving through the division by division. We'll do a couple, every here and there spatterings of those. How much stock do you put into NFL plays, future plays?
You know what, Jeff? I think it's the most underrated value bet you can make. And there's extensive talk with me and my associates, Action Man, the Yogi, and some other guys, Sling Man, who longtime gamblers. This is what you talk about all summer, Jeff. You try to stay away from betting baseball. It's a crapshoot, but you can actually invest and have some sound data and algorithm studies behind these futures. What makes it a little difficult or when teams change their rosters dramatically, rookie quarterbacks are something that are very tough to predict. CJ Strouds don't come along very often.
Right.
But when a team has a nucleus returning, coming off a season where they had a competent quarterback, I think that those are things that you can start looking at as to reasons why you look at a team. And it's a little more difficult now with the 17-game season, much more likely now to have quarterback injuries or important player injuries. So that's one thing that's a little bit new of a kind of, danger zone when making these plays. But I think it's an underrated value bet and something that a lot of people should take a look at. And they're fun, Jeff. They're fun. You go to the casino, which I'm gonna be doing soon. Gonna hit Atlantic City. Have some research meetings there, Jeff. We're gonna be in the ocean soon. Got a meeting at the Palms. So a lovely town still, Atlantic City, Jeff. I shouldn't underrate that. And you make your future bet. You get your ticket, put it in your wherever you keep stuff. I don't know, Jeff's cigar box, whatever you got.
Yep.
And then January, February, you go collect your winnings. It's a fantastic thing. And if you lose, you already forgot about the money that you invested.
Well played. And you can see all those videos for Pez, again, at Pez's Picks, both on Twitter and X and on Instagram. Check those out. Pez, any final thoughts as we head into another great weekend of sports?
Jeff, we got to continue to pump the brakes. Nobody should, be betting their house, their mortgage, their car on baseball gambling. Let's just have some fun, Jeff, and keep reminding people of that too. It's a fun thing to do. We're not looking at it as much as an investment situation. There's too many variables. So
yeah,
that's going to be our theme continuing throughout the summer.
All right. Perfect stuff. Pez, as always, thank you for your time. Make sure you check out Pez's picks on all those different platforms. Pez, have a great weekend, man. We'll talk next week.
See you, buddy.